The night air on the Ponderosa set was quiet, almost reverent, but inside one man's trailer, a storm was always brewing. Pernell Roberts would sit alone after the cameras stopped rolling, staring at a mirror that reflected not the confident Adam Cartwright America adored, but a man who felt trapped in a role he had come to resent. Fame had found him, but fulfillment never did. And there was one person he blamed more than anyone else. A towering presence whose voice carried authority, whose shadow loomed over every scene. Lorne Greene. At first, it looked like destiny. Bonanza exploded onto television screens and into American living rooms, redefining the Western and turning its cast into legends. Pernell Roberts was proud of his role in the beginning. He was classically trained, politically aware, and deeply committed to meaningful storytelling. Adam Cartwright was supposed to be the moral compass, the thinker, the man who asked difficult questions. But as the seasons passed, Roberts felt those questions were being quietly erased. At the center of everything stood Lorne Greene, commanding, revered, the unquestioned patriarch. On screen and off. As Ben Cartwright, Greene wasn't just the father of the family, he was the face of the show, the authority figure producers trusted, the voice that carried weight in every creative decision. And, slowly, Pernell Roberts began to feel that nothing moved on Bonanza without Lorne Greene's approval. Scenes were rewritten, conflicts softened, episodes increasingly revolved around Ben Cartwright's moral certainty. Roberts watched as Adam's complexity faded, replaced by simpler resolutions that always seemed to circle back to Greene's character. To Pernell, it felt suffocating. He didn't see Ben Cartwright as wisdom incarnate, he saw him as a symbol of control, of a show unwilling to challenge itself. The tension wasn't explosive, it was worse than that. It was quiet, polite, smiling. On set, Lorne Greene was professional, calm, almost regal. But to Pernell Roberts, that calm felt like dominance. When Roberts questioned scripts or pushed for darker themes, the room often fell silent. And then Greene would speak, measured, confident, and the conversation would end. Not with anger, with finality. There are stories whispered by crew members years later. Moments when Roberts would pace between takes, visibly frustrated, times when he felt his character had been reduced to a talking point instead of a person. He believed television could challenge audiences, force them to think. But Bonanza, under Greene's steady influence, was becoming something safer, something comfortable, and Pernell Roberts felt like he was drowning in that comfort. What hurt most wasn't just creative disagreement, it was the imbalance. Lorne Greene was older, respected, untouchable. Pernell Roberts was the dissenter, the difficult one, the actor who didn't know how good he had it. Each time Greene's authority prevailed, Roberts felt smaller, not as an actor, but as a voice. By the early 1960s, the frustration had turned into bitterness. Pernell Roberts reportedly dreaded table reads. He stopped socializing with cast members. He gave interviews that hinted at deep dissatisfaction, though he was careful not to name names. But those close to the show understood. His anger was focused, personal, and rooted in what he believed Lorne Greene represented. Creative stagnation wrapped in success. Then came the decision that stunned Hollywood. At the absolute peak of Bonanza's popularity, Pernell Roberts walked away. No dramatic farewell, no soft landing. He left a hit show that guaranteed wealth and visibility. To the industry, it was madness. To Roberts, it was the only way to breathe again. Behind that decision was more than artistic principle. It was emotional exhaustion. He could no longer exist in a world where his voice didn't matter, where Lorne Greene's authority overshadowed every attempt at growth. Leaving wasn't about beating Greene, it was about escaping him. Time moved on. Lorne Greene remained the steady heart of Bonanza, beloved until the very end. Pernell Roberts struggled, then slowly rebuilt his career on his own terms. He found success later, respect even. But the wound from Bonanza never fully closed. In later interviews, there was reflection, but also restraint. The anger had cooled, yet it lingered beneath the surface, unresolved. Was it hatred toward Lorne Greene the man? Or resentment toward what Greene symbolized: power, control, and a system that rewarded safety over depth? Pernell Roberts never fully answered that question. Maybe he couldn't, and so the story lingers, unfinished, a reminder that success can be a cage. That sometimes the person you resent most isn't your enemy, but the mirror they force you to look into. And it leaves us wondering, if Pernell Roberts had stayed, would he have lost himself completely? Or was walking away the only victory he ever truly had?